grateful. We can call on you. Let your people hear and see that they're not be rebellious against you. Let the obedience rain down on us as a people. That rebellion is over. Father, send your healing grace raining down upon your people. And all the sickness and hurt and crying, and all the suffering. You said there will be no more tears. In Yeshua's mighty name, amen. Amen. Pretty windy out today. So this seems a bit obscure, Isaiah 56. It's not really a topic. But Father brought this to my attention when I was looking and seeking for what he wanted said. Isaiah 56 is a rather short chapter, but it's in two parts. And the two parts of that chapter are absolutely critical to the people of Israel. Anybody that's gone through Strong's Concordance knows that there's an asterisk in front of some of the numbers. So I wanted to brief you on, you might see that a time or two in this PowerPoint. So Mr. Strong said, in a task so extended and of such intricacy and peculiar detail, the author cannot hope to have escaped all errata. In other words, he's pretty sure that this is what that means, but he's not absolutely sure. Isaiah 56:1. Thus saith Yahweh, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. That's Yeshua. It's his verdict, his virtue, his Yeshua, his Tzedek, the righteousness. So, he's bringing in a new idea here. And what's important about this is the Tanakh talking about grafting in. We've all heard about people being grafted into the tribes of Israel, right? Well, we're going to enter into that through Isaiah. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it. The man and the Son of Man, that would imply him and his generations, okay? Perpetuity. That layeth hold on this, and keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. We have to continually ask ourselves, why are we keeping the Sabbath? Well, it's supposed to happen at this point in time. Now we have the graft. We're going to see what this says. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, "Behold, I am a dry tree"? No. So the son is the builder of the family name, and the stranger is a foreigner. For thus saith Yahweh unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in mine house and within mine walls a place and a name better than the sons and daughters, better than the sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. So he's saying, the stranger and the eunuch they have a place, a permanent spot, and a name in the coming kingdom. Also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to Yahweh to serve him and to love the name of Yahweh, to be his servants. Every one that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant, even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. For mine house shall be a house of prayer for all people. How many times have we heard that been said in the recent years? A house of prayer for all people. There's a couple of ways to look at that, and one of them is rather unique, to say the least. So here it is in Romans. It is saying the same thing as it did in Isaiah. Behold, therefore, the goodness and the severity of Elohim on them which fell, severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in my goodness, otherwise thou shalt also be cut off. That's the same idea that we see in Isaiah. For if thou wert cut off the olive tree, thou wert cut off of the olive tree, which was wild by nature. What's an olive tree anyway? It's symbolic of Israel, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree. How much more shall these which are natural branches be grafted into their own olive tree, the one that they got cut off from, which is the people that are in the diaspora right now, you and me. We're going to be grafted back onto the olive tree, and then these people who have taken hold, they seized the covenant, just like Ruth, they're in. They're Israel. So there's your definition of graft. That's not a typo. That's the way it is in the KJV. So when you put a graft into a tree, you cut a spot in the tree and you slice down that branch and you stick it in that hole. That's what this is talking about here. As in Ruth to Naomi. Ruth wanted to stay with Naomi and go and be with her people. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go. And whither thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy Elohim will be my Elohim. And there it is. She's bringing in, seizing the covenant. So I want to talk about the Moabites, because we brought that. I had a discussion with Rod about that last week. So, well, Ruth was a Moabite. And it's like, okay, so what, right? But it says here in Old Testament accounts, the Moabite belonged to the same ethnic stock as the Israelites, so it wasn't far removed from the tribes of Israel. Their ancestral founder was Moab, a son of Lot, who was a nephew of the Israelite patriarch Abraham. Lot, this Moab, was the son of Lot's older daughter through an incestuous relationship. Yahweh with Elohim, which gathereth the outcasts of Israel, saith, Yet will I gather others to him, besides those that I have that are gathered unto him. He has other people that he's bringing in. Here's the problem we have now with the house of prayer for all people. I've heard this come out of many Jewish people. I've heard a lot of talk about this new house of prayer they want to build. And it's not the temple as we know it. They have a compromise. That's what usually works, is a compromise to satisfy everybody that has a grievance in the issue. So the experts have devised a compromise with respect to the various claims to the Temple Mount. Use of the existing Dome of the Rock as the house of prayer for all people would diffuse perceived threats to Muslims, allowing the shrine to remain intact. Today we're hearing about, oh, it's got to go, it's got to go. There are others that say, well, maybe not. Maybe we can work this out. Years ago, I saw this plan. There's the Dome of the Rock, the 8-sided figure, with the top having a temple. Everybody gets their own temple. But you see the confusion and the lie that's in this thing. We have to seize his covenant. Okay? Not have everybody's religion in the same lot. Okay? That's what they're trying to do. That's backwards and it's a lie.
Amen.
You have Islam. You have the Jewish mysticism and Judaism and Hinduism and Hindu mysticism and Christian mysticism and Christianity. How nice. And we can all play together in the same little building. You think they might try this?
They're already trying it.
They're already trying it. Okay, we're familiar with this symbol, right? It's a new thought. It symbolizes a new paragraph, a new thought. And that's what was special about this chapter, because it has two pieces. So we have the second piece. We see this symbol before the text. Dogs with no bark. You see, that's a wall looking down over a city, but there's no watchman on the wall. Nobody to warn the people. So when we go to verse 9, all ye beasts of the field come to devour. Yea, all ye beasts in the forest. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, laying down, loving to slumber. Now, there was a death penalty for a watchman caught sleeping on his shift. What do we think of it? Can you lay this into a nice little scenario of today's situation? Nobody's speaking the difficult things. Everybody in the organized religions are trying to maintain tolerance, maintain their people in the pews with a highly liberal socialist mentality. They're not warning the people, but they're collecting. They're collecting the big bucks. They're involved in very hideous things, just like many of the government people are. Yeshua says, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, they shall fall into the ditch. Now here's another powerful statement. People get criticized for all the supposed negative bull that they want to bring out, you know. It seems negative. It depends on your attitude. Is it joy that you see the prophecies coming to fulfillment that lead to Yeshua HaMashiach and taking the throne of the earth? But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, which is what is going on out there, and the people be not warned, and if the sword comes and take any person from among them, that person is taken away in their iniquity, in their lawlessness. But the blood of that person is required of the watchman's hand. It's the watchman's fault for not warning that man. If he takes the warning, and this person receives a warning from the watchman, but he ignores the warning from the watchman, then the blood's not on the watchman's hand. But if the watchman doesn't speak, the blood's on the watchman's hand. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. They are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. How about the mega churches on that? Come ye, they say, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. How nice. Are you going to come back next Sunday and hear more? I'll see if we can get you a few $100s for your $500 donation, and we can maybe get you $500. keep it. Yeah, I know the math doesn't work, but that's okay. Okay, so we think of the megachurch pastors, and even the small churches, you have to admit, are following suit with this. With their prosperity gospels, acquiescing. This is the problem in our country. This is when we started to dive. They acquiesced all manner of moral degeneracy in the name of diversity and inclusion, and that has mushroomed into some very hideous things. For there shall be a day that the watchman, this is the good news here. There shall be a day that the watchman upon Mount Ephraim shall cry, arise, and let us go up to Zion, unto Yahweh our Elohim. That's what we're all looking for. Now, the Eastern Gate, the Golden Gate, is in the picture. I've always been interested in this, the archaeological aspect of this, but I didn't see any watchmen up there. There are some cameras, I guess those will suffice. But this gate was sealed by Islamists, I think in the 700s, to prevent Messiah from returning through that gate. Here's what the gate looked like in 1876. The Temple Mount was all disheveled and in ruin. You can see it's all dirt there, all filled up. And down below, you can see these two doors right here. See this one and this one? That was ground level when this was built. So it's been built up several feet from there. The Mount of Olives is behind there. Now this is what it looks like inside now. And this is those two doors looking at it from the inside. So what does that look like? I got all the carpets on the floor and all the books and all the lights to keep everybody happy. They think that their presence and their stake and their claim by putting their prayer towels down, that's their property. That's going to be indefinite property of theirs. I don't see that happening. Yeshua's going to be blowing right through there.
Amen.
Those things are going to be knocked out of the way. But I just see the gall and the arrogance of these people that think they can prevent some mighty, mighty event. And then he brought me back the way of the gate of the outward sanctuary, which looketh eastward, the gate, the east, and it was shut. Look toward the east, and it was shut. There's the prophecy that it was shut. Then Yahweh said unto me, this gate shall be shut. It shall not be opened, and no man shall enter in by it, because Yahweh Elohim of Israel hath entered in by it, therefore it shall be shut. Now that's the very same gate that Yeshua entered into the Temple Mount through. When he went to the Mount of Olives, there was a bridge there that took from the eastern gate to the Mount of Olives. So Yeshua came in and out of that all the time. And there it is. So yes, there's people coming. The people that are not of the tribes, if they seize hold of the covenant, they're Israel. And if the watchman keeps his mouth shut and doesn't speak, everybody suffers. Amen.
Amen.
Anybody have anything to add to it? Any comments or questions?
Well, it's a good point that you're bringing this up.